Progress.
Tab E, we have Project Community Connect, a street closure.
Yeah, and this is a request we get annually. The council always seems to approve it. It's a good cause and it works out well. So, but we do want you to know what's going on and actually have that approval. Any questions for me?
Just their letter was dated 12/28. And
It was, and
Yeah.
I actually followed up with Nancy on that one because I wanted to make sure they had insurance for us and they
Okay.
provided insurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just a note, it's next week. And that's what this.
Thursday next week.
Yeah, Thursday next week. I'm volunteering with Blaine on Wednesday if anybody wants to help, but anyway. They've already, I mean, we need. This is fine, we need to get these through faster because they've already had the meeting where they have to get with the people that are setting up tents and tell them where it's gonna go, so. You know,
I don't want to throw stones, but sometimes we
Yeah.
get these later than we should.
okay,
So, yeah, I mean, they could apply
There's a
in
process.
October
yeah,
and we'd be happy to put it in
Yeah.
October.
okay,
All right, so did I hear a motion on this?
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous win. All right, Southwest Regional Transportation Planning Organization Board representation.
Yes, this is a board that we've belonged to for quite a while. A lot of things go through it. It's more of an informational thing, but the board members actually vote on things throughout the region. They get reports from Department of Transportation. It's related to everything from transit to bike trails, on and on and on. And I've sat on the board at one time until they changed the rules and said you have to be an elected official to be able to attend these meetings and vote. I can attend them, it's a public meeting, but to actually have a say or a voice, it really is an elected official. So this is interesting to see if any of you guys would like to do it. I want to say, was it quarterly? I think the quarterly meeting, it's not a big commitment, but it's around the area. I mean, I went to in Cathlamet and in outside of Montesano. I mean, they do Chehalis. I've been in a meeting for these people. So it is a distance. City will pay your travel for that type of thing for the meeting. And it usually lasts about an hour, hour and a half typically, but maybe they do it by Zoom now.
I was confused. I was trying to
Okay.
find out when they met.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty much quarterly.
what I found out was I found a meeting that happens on the fourth Thursday of every month in Longview. That's not this stuff.
That's the Waukegan Council of Governments meeting, I believe, is that one.
Oh,
The
okay.
Southwest Regional Transportation Planning Organization, which CWCOG helps facilitate. I want to say it's just quarterly and it's around the area, but I can double check on the dates.
Any interest from the council in serving on that?
Sounds like George is interested.
No, I'm really stretched pretty thin already.
I mean, I'm only on about a dozen of these things right now, so I can do it if you'd like to.
What's one more?
Fine, I got nothing else to do. All right. Give me the opportunity. All right.
Should we vote on that?
Well, I
Make a
guess.
motion, we nominate the mayor. Do I have a second?
Thanks.
All in
Oh.
favor? Thank you.
It's not official because I didn't talk to them. Okay, I'll accept that. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
I was practicing for when you're not here.
Well, it's good. I mean, I'll tell you, it'd be overwhelming. Task Force EMS interlocal.
I'm sorry, did I hear the number of A's on that one?
They were
man.
unanimous, yeah.
Sorry, making notes.
Vindictive.
Task Force EMS interlocal agreement, it's in your packet. I don't know if you want any background on this. It's been the same agreement since 2007. In this past period, though, the people that are on that board would like to move it to the Tuesday instead of Thursday and move it to quarterly instead of monthly. And that's really it. It accommodates the chief of Milwaukee in a conflict with the EMS council meeting, which is at the same day and well, it'll be the same time at 6 o'clock. So that's why they're requesting moving it. And the other thing that changed in this from the previous agreement was in the past, only medics was the people that we had contracted with to do transports. Waco now has a paramedic on staff. And they're doing some transports, things like that. The old agreement wouldn't allow that. So the task force members really didn't want to hurt a member agency from allowing them to do things they'd like to do. So that's the other change in this document. And I'll tell you, my concern about that was I didn't want to have enough holes go away that medics would say, we don't want to cover you anymore. So that would leave us in a bigger hole.
Yeah.
And in the discussions with the president, he said it's not an issue. The amount of calls that Walker will be doing would not really impact them. We would still be covered.
And when the, like Long Beach person who's EMS trained, they respond, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay, 'cause I remember when my mom had her stroke, it was the Long Beach people that showed up first.
Yeah, we've got more people training to be EMTs.
Right.
And yeah, we want them to be able to respond.
Okay,
Yeah.
And medics wants us to respond.
Basically, it's first person out now.
Yeah.
Which is great.
good.
And also the change of the dates allows for Ralph to be at both, meetings.
Yeah, record.
And representing
Good.
the council there, so that's wonderful. So a motion to, approve,
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, I should have allowed for more discussion, I'm sorry, was there any more?
Do they need a rep or?
Right now, we're
Yeah.
still, the people who were appointed last year are myself and Chief Jordan, Long Beach as representatives.
Oh, okay.
You guys are welcome to change that at any time.
Mostly getting people involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to sit in on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy to talk to anybody about it.
Okay, so oral reports. So let's do any further council reports at this point, right before the for the oral report. Anything from the council?
Like I said, I think our workshop's gonna be ongoing. I'll send everybody this list of notes I jotted down. We can cover more next time. And, that's all I had. Oh, wait, I do have one more.
Yeah. if you could send that-
We got the note from, PPR that they'd like to meet with us, the Peninsula Poverty Response, Megan Michon. So, let's invite her. Let's have a discussion. A
we
workshop or
Yeah, I was gonna
during the
say,
meeting?
which would you
Workshop?
rather have?
Yeah.
It depends on her. If it's a presentation, that can happen at the council meeting, but if she wants some input and discussion, it can happen at the workshop. What's your druthers?
I'd like to have a whole hour for the workshop and then have her in the meeting first thing,
Okay,
so she can make her presentation and then. If we need to take any action or do anything, then we can have it at that time.
and when are we hoping to get that
Next
on
one?
at the next one?
Next one, yeah.
And this is always subject to how many other more pertinent things to try and keep them the meetings, but we'll get as much as we can. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
So
Just
she
like
wants
to
to make
say,
a presentation.
Yeah, about the poverty response,
It's not asking for anything.
probably. Why would anybody come here if they didn't want?
Yeah, right.
And
Realistic.
in all fairness to the council members that
Yeah.
may not know, she made a request at the last budget that we include money in the budget for Peninsula Poverty Response, if I recall correctly.
Well,
And it was the mayor's budget and he didn't pass that on, I don't think.
How much do you ask for?
I would be making a guess, and I don't remember. To be honest with you, I want to say it was maybe close to 20 grand, but it might have been 5, and I just don't remember correctly.
But I live across the street from low income housing. A lot of the guys there their families, they don't have vehicles, so I've taken them to a couple of their events. And a lot of them went from that apartment complex, go to it. And they give them food, they give them clothes, they give them haircuts, you know, toiletries, all kinds of stuff. It's just amazing the things they do. And then they have an ongoing, well, she's gonna give us this presentation, but they got ongoing laundry, propane, emergency response. So they're helping people in our community and in our city. And they're doing it on their mainstream budgets, and if anything, even helping them with grant money and helping them, you know, the services. So, you know, we should hear from her and see what exactly what she wants.
Okay, I don't think that'll be a problem. Yeah.
So our next meeting. is in
The
February.
next meeting, yeah,
Okay,
So I'll reach out to Megan and see if she's available for
Great.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, okay,
February
I'll send her.
okay. Anybody else?
No, it's the EMS council, it was a special meeting that we had last Thursday. And it was to elect the chairman of the board again, Chief Willoughby from Pacific County District 1 was reelected. And a couple other members, and they had a person who's taken over, kind of like treasurer, and they had to get signature cards from them. And then there was some training that they were talking about going on for, the medical control doc was gonna do some training for people, and then he's talked about trying to do some EMT training too, hopefully, because I think that's important. And I know when I was an EMT, medical control doc, they always seem to care about the medics and they don't care too much about EMTs. And so, it's a good opportunity to get feedback from them and stuff like that. So our next meeting now is into March, something, I think it's March 4th.
Great. Thank you for being involved in that. Who's up next? Anybody? I had a couple of things. We are looking for civil service recommendations. There are 2 openings on the civil service board. One was going to be our past mayor, but he's opted out and we've had somebody leave. So if you know anybody that would be good, you don't have to have had civil service background. You don't have to have been a police officer or firefighter to serve on that. You just have to be a resident for 3 years of Long Beach
And a registered voter.
and a registered voter.
And what does it involve?
Interview process for police officers.
So the civil service board, what they do is, they make sure we hire fairly. So they are the ones that look over the entry level list, the lateral list. They'll actually verbally interview and they'll certify those lists. And that happens, in all honesty, maybe once or twice a year at the most. A lot of times it's once every 2 years. I believe the commitment you'd be looking at would probably be at the most maybe 10 hours a year for 3 or 4 meetings. It's not a big commitment.
So is it for
And it's also
Long
the,
Beach only or?
Long Beach
all
only.
county? Oh,
And
it's
it's
the- it's the
elected
founding-
officials can serve on that, no?
I don't recall.
We'll have to look that up. We were gonna look that
Because
up ahead of time.
the issue you have with the elected official is, are you the quasi judicial group after the civil service? Because let's say somebody's let go in the police fire department, if we have paid firefighters. We let somebody go, they have the ability to petition to the Civil Service Commission to review the case and decide if they should be rehired or where they're at, if they were terminated properly. Hasn't come up only once in the 30 years I've been here, but it is a opportunity or possibility. And then the city council may be the hearing board that would
Mhm.
decide after that. And that would be where you wouldn't want to be a member of the civil service board because you've lost that ability.
So mostly we're looking for recommendations for anybody you might know.
okay.
Please just either get a hold of me or get a hold of David with those recommendations and we'll get that taken care of. We did talk about assigning council members to different departments and we heard Mark's opinion on that. Was there any, the council want anything to say about whether you'd want to do that? I mean, I think the tours are absolutely, you've got to go on them. It's amazing. And you're gonna love what you see, but
I think the tour is a great, yeah.
Okay,
it was
so
great.
we'll set-
I'm not down with the assignment thing.
Hmm?
I'm not for the assignment.
not for the assignment. Okay, great. And we've been talking about hiring a new gardener. That will come before you as soon as we have something to tell you. I think that's it. For me.
I think it's
Now,
imperative that, we have all 5 council members when we do the council rules and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Everybody can't make it,
Mhm.
let us know in advance and we could reschedule, because I think we all have to be there every time.
Yeah.
That's,
I agree.
Oh, what about the public works? We're gonna hire a project manager?
No, not a project manager, an administrative assistant. She's been hired, and she'll be primarily helping with cartograph input. And maybe managing some.
Yeah, we look at that project, or that position to really grow, because what. Stand down here,
Yeah.
I can all see it. So, yeah, we looked at two things. One is the data entry side of that and the organizing. And we feel that administrative assistant, the public works side of it, would make a big impact. And we're trying to follow the model that's been used at Pacific County. They pretty much had a gatekeeper, and things that happened went through that person, and they kept it organized and going. It didn't go to the manager side of it. And previous administration, we talked about a project manager, but we think that this probably will cover a lot of that, and would like to try it for a period of time to see how it works. But the person we have made the offer to is planning to start February 1st is the start date, and we believe they're going to be able to do a lot of things, including go data collection, things like which stop sign needs replaced, or the data that goes along with that, what's the reflectivity. We think that the computer part will probably take maybe 3 or 4 hours a day, and then data collection will be the rest of it. And that's working with your field supervisor, the department heads. So we want to try it with that before we get on project manager.
And also, I've been meeting with each member of the city employee, including the city crew. And I just have the water department yet to go, and a couple of people that work weekends. And their consensus is that they don't really need a project manager, that they're pretty excited about having this administrative assistant. And I think that's important to know that the people that are working with this person feel like this is all they need. While we're on that subject, we did approve money for another police officer, and we've decided to hold on that at this point because the chief doesn't really feel like he needs that person at the moment, but you have approved the expenditure for that.
There's concern of the person that we employ that's in the drug task force, and our concern is that the task force isn't making they're making the bus, but the buildings and the property that we were expecting to pay for the future drug task force, the money may not be there because there's an issue. Is Brandon on here? Yep, Brandon's on here. So Brandon told me about this. The concern that we have, Flint and I, is that if there aren't enough things that get through the prosecutor's office for money for the drug task force, that it may not be funded in the future. And so we've got a good employee. We don't want to lose that person or hire somebody and then have to lay them off if the drug task force doesn't work out for us. So that's our concern on that. And that's one of the reasons that the chief approached me about waiting.
And I like to be as transparent as possible. So when I know these things, I want you to know these things. Wasn't necessarily always the way it happened. So the other oral reports, anything?
I don't have anything special. It's a new learning period with a new council. Honestly, I look forward to it. I mean, there's always change, and change most of the time is good, and there's for a reason for it. So no, I'm looking forward to this next 2 years anyway. And hopefully 2 years after that.
is the administrative assistant going to give us the public works report every month then?
We're probably not. I think what we'll do is we'll try to streamline that. It's just like the vouchers and the rest of it. I'd like to work with you to figure out what works best for you. But I'm thinking that with Cartograph, I've already got a report of what's going on a daily basis. And I think I can either include that, and you could ask questions of it if you got questions. Some synopsis, some type, though, we will get to you. And yeah, whatever works best for you guys, whether it's an email or a verbal at the meeting or a part of the packet, we'd like to work with you.
All right, anything else from council? All right, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Recording stop.